So I just read chapter 1006 of One Piece, the Honorable Hirogero of the Flower. And there's a few key things that happen in this chapter that I think leaves the reader with some questions that I want to touch on really quick. Starting with the dilemma that Sanji is stuck in regarding protecting Momonosuke or going to protect the Red Scabbards. The questions that I think Sanji is battling with is, should I go and protect this child who is being protected by Yamato, someone I don't even know, and Shinobu, someone I know is not that formidable. Momonosuke is also the leader of this samurai army, and he is that important. But then you got the Red Scabbards, who's already beaten and battered and out of the fight anyway. And I think the Red Scabbards would rather Sanji go and protect Momonosuke. But knowing that, Sanji also knows that the Scabbards' life would be in danger, gravely endangered, because they are severely injured after being in a fight with a Yonko, and the Beast Pirates are sending one of the calamities after the Scabbards. So Sanji is stuck in that dilemma. What I personally think he's going to choose, he's going to go and protect Momonosuke. That's my personal opinion, but I may be wrong. It is what it is. So the next thing I want to say, and this one I'm not really mad about, but it's been happening a lot. Oda has been skipping a lot of fights, and he just did it again with Parasparrow versus Carrot. We cut to that area where Parasparrow basically beat up Carrot. Like, Carrot is out on the ground. She's not out, knocked out, but she's down for the count. And it's basically a whole scene with Parasparrow's talking trash, talking junk, basically saying, oh, you should go hop back in the woods and nibble on some grass or something. You're more suited for that. And Pudding, where'd that come from? Carrot has a flashback of Pedro, basically, you know, the usual with anime. You have a flashback of Pedro, you know, him giving out, you know, move on, keep fighting, blah, blah, blah. So that happens, and we move on from that. Parasparrow leaves Pudding to, you know, lay on the ground. That's that. But I want to move on to Hirogero Apple as Drake. Now, this situation I thought was interesting. One, because Hirogero, I seen Hirogero, it was last chapter. We see Hirogero in a small panel next to X Drake and facing off against Apple. And I didn't really say nothing about it because I wasn't sure if that was Hirogero, because it's kind of weird that Hirogero is all of a sudden fully back in prime form after he was just an old man. And it's also mentioned in this chapter, Hirogero has some internal dialogue. He basically says he was able, because he was affected by the ice demon, Queen's disease, that it was able to draw out some of his prime abilities. But the drawback to that is that he has to sacrifice some of his life energy. Hirogero tells his samurai, look, pretty soon, I'm getting ready to be overcome by the ice demon. When that happens, before that happens, I want y'all to cut me down, because y'all won't be able to handle me once I do go in the ice demon form. He basically saying, oh, I'm like that. Y'all ain't going to be able to handle this work. That's basically what happens. Hirogero throws out an attack. Fury Hair's Holy Light. He throws out this attack, and it's a one sword style technique, and it blows away a bunch of beast pirates. And then Queen, out of nowhere, first of all, Queen, I don't know what is Queen. He's basically a cyborg at this point. Queen be throwing out attacks, and you're like, bro, where's that coming from? You remember a few chapters ago, Queen had like mini guns in his mouth that he was firing at Marco, I believe. And now in this chapter, he has like a beam cannon that he fires at people. Very weird. But Queen tries to fire out this beam cannon from his mouth at Hirogero because Hirogero is basically down there dominating that area. They're still holding off the Beast Pirates from getting the Chopper, who is working on the antidote. So that's happening. Hirogero's dominating. Queen says, let me chip in a little bit, help my guys out. Marco is still in the mix, and he hits Queen in the side, like in the abdomen, with a Phoenix brand that causes Queen to cough up blood. Queen then immediately turns his attentions to Marco because he realized, yo, I'm still in a fight with Marco, one of the strongest members of the Whitebeard Pirates. So Queen then throws out another beam attack, this time directed at Marco. And first of all, Marco looks badass right now. King comes in as Queen is shooting out this beam attack, this beam cannon. King comes in and cuts off one of Marco's wings. But then Marco immediately counters with an attack, and I think it's called Blue Bird. So Blue Bird is basically a technique where Marco takes his two fingers and fires his blue flames. Like it becomes a fireball, and he blasts it at King as they're falling into a building. They fall into a building. Queen immediately transforms out of his brachial form and goes after Marco. Once Queen gets to that building and begins to enter, Marco immediately counters with a Phoenix Claw. Then Marco says it's not easy to hold off two guys who have bounties over $1 billion. You say that, Marco, but right now you're kicking some ass. You're holding off two calamities. You're protecting. You're not just, see, that's the thing. Marco's not just fighting them. You know what I mean? He's protecting while fighting them. He's protecting Chopper. He's protecting Hirogero. He's protecting the other samurai while also holding off the calamities of the Beast Pirates. Marco looks like a total badass right now. So I want to throw this in there because I think it's important. It's right here for a reason. Peril Sparrow, there's a small panel where Peril Sparrow says, is that Marco over there? He basically spots Marco fighting King and Queen, and he says he looks like he's in pretty bad shape. So to me, it looks like Peril Sparrow is getting ready to do some dirty shit and maybe try to do something to deter Marco, and then Marco may be affected by that, and King to help King and Queen get the upper hand. I think that could easily happen. Or because we still don't know Peril Sparrow's true intentions, even though he said we are allied with the Beast Pirates now, it's time to show them the startups how to do things, blah, blah, blah. But you never know. But I think Peril Sparrow is ready to try some underhand shit, and it may affect Marco and ultimately shake things up a little bit. But after that, the chapter then ends beautifully. Beautifully, in my opinion. In my opinion, it ends beautifully with Hirogero giving his whole speech about him moving on and dying and leaving this fight to his comrades. And he also says, I wonder what would have happened if me and Odin had teamed up to take down Kaido and our primes. And then it shows a panel where Hirogero is down on his knees, and two of his comrades, two of his samurai, are going to cut Hirogero down because he's getting ready to turn into an ice demon, and Hirogero seems to be at peace with leaving his samurai to the fights, his comrades to the fight. We don't know what happens because the chapter ends after that. No break next week. The chapter ends after that. So we don't know if Hirogero is truly getting cut down right here, or maybe someone shouts like, oh, I finished the cure, or, you know, someone comes in to stop him, or will Hirogero actually get cut down? We don't know. We'll see. I'll dive more into this chapter once the official translation come out, the Viz translation come out. Until then, I'm out this bitch, man. Peace.